No. Alright. Hopefully we're starting. Let's check if I'm live. And I am live. Alright. I am live. Alright. So, hello everyone, and today I'm doing another Minecraft video. And, I'm not playing on the same thing I was yesterday. I'm playing 1.8.9 now. Yesterday, I was playing in 1.10.2. Oh no. Alright. I hope this is, I hope the stream's doing fine. Well, I'm kind of looking at the stream right now, and it looks alright, so, go Pixelmon! Two players online. You have the stack mode enabled, alright, video output slow. Alright, we'll give it a second. I'm not drinking any soda right now. Totally not. Wait. Alright. 2 watching now. Alright. Is it lagging? Is it lagging? I don't know. What would you say to help? It's, stream option. Optimize. Oh. Alright, never mind. How do I can't do any of that stuff. Alright, sir, let's add a card. Why not? Video. The worst person ever. Alright, great card. It should pop up pretty soon. Alright, well, we're gonna start doing this, and I'm going to choose my favorite Pokemon. Well, not my favorite Pokemon. My favorite starter, and it's like biggest. Well, its last evolution is kind of my favorite Pokemon. So, Charmander. Alright. From now, let me TP. Does TP accept? Well, what? Why? Just kit starter. Oh, kit starter? Oh, that's the thing. That's very good. Alright. No, I'm lagging a lot. Well, no, I'm not lagging a lot. She just started, lol. Alright, alright. Why not? Where are you? Where are you? I can't see him. Oh, there. Oh. Hello. Alright. You want the game? Sure. Alright. What do you have? Oh. The blocks of diamond? Oh my gosh. Thank you. He just gave me 5,000. A voice crack right there. Alright. That's gonna help me a lot. Alright. Well, I have kit starter, but I don't have fur. Sure. I'll let them have the rare candies. Like, it's fine. I'm out of inventory space, so I'm gonna put on the this. No. Plasma set. Plasma. Alright, class kit griefer. Oh. Starter. Grief. Kit griefer. Grief. It isn't working. He just gave me some quick balls. Huh? It says alright, well, oh! I just got a diamond sword. Alright, well, thank you. Yes? Can I have the rare candies? I only got one. Alright, fine, sir. Alright, well, wait, let me get my sword out. Ah, that's cool. Dragon. Nice dragonite. I don't need. Okay. He's telling me to follow him. Well, I'm alright. Alright. What? Dude, what do you want? Go into here? Of one area. Catch random Pokemon. Alright. I think you maybe tried to give me your Dragonite. I'll give you Air Rock. Okay. Alright. So you can fly. Alright. I'm gonna have to catch a Pokemon. Random, horrible Pokemon. I'm trying to find one that's low leveled. Alright, 27. I can catch that. I can catch that with a great ball. It's the closest one I can get. Alright, come on. No, alright. Gonna have to use some of the 55 Ultra Balls. I know. I know it's lagging a little bit, guys, but you're gonna have to bear with me because I can see it. Alright. I thought he was gonna give me a Dragonite. I was like, no, dude, that's yours. I don't want to take it. But alright. Why not? Hank. Now you can fly. Yeah. Hank. I kinda like Magma, but he didn't give me the Magma. Throw him out. Alright. How do I... Alright, there we go. Alright. Let's go! Ascend to the sky! Alright. Where are we going? Oh yeah, cool. You got an Articuno. Like these people are such good like people in the game where they have like tons of good Pokemon and stuff, but they're helping out people that start in the game. Probably because we're the only 3 people on here. Alright, let's go. Alright. Let's go to Zapdos. Do you have like every legendary bird? He is my favorite legend. The Zapdos is my favorite legend. My favorite legendary. Alright, I got an orb. I'm going to have one later. Nice. Lag free. Alright, cool. I don't really care. I don't even have a home yet. Alright. Well, let's make these into diamonds because I haven't done that yet. I haven't looked. How many people are watching? 2. Nobody has. Now you can start playing. I gave you some items. I know. Lots of items. So, see ya. Yeah. Alright. Cool people. Oh my god, I haven't gone on Discord like forever. Alright, I'm going to Discord. How long have I been off here? Yeah, give me a second, everybody. Actually, I think I know what's making me lag so much. I've got like 5 I've got like 50 tabs open. Alright, let me close all these. Close that live dashboard. No, the one I'm not using to record. Log in. Actually, I think I know what's welcome back. Alright. Sid, are you Dutch? I've got like 5 tabs. No. I've got like 50 tabs open. No. Alright. Okay. Let me close all these. Alright. Close that live. No, the one I'm not using to record. Fazio. Right. Oh man. Sid, are you Dutch? Oh yes. Hi. What's up? Alright. Not many people are on. So yeah. Alright. Let's see where we are. I'm sorry for the low render distance. This is the only way I can even play. Right. Not many people. Swag. Cool. Alright. So what do you think we should do first? Make a home or something? I know there's 2 people watching. I can see it on my live channel. Well, live thing. How did I get up here? How far is this up in the sky? Oh my god. This just was good to have flying Pokemon. Alright, let's go. Oh. Alright, we're gonna trade you and we're going to ride you. So much stuff. Alright, go to the swag helmet, I'm sorry. Alright. Let's go. Oh. Oh, well, alright then. Fine. So bad. Alright, apples. Apples. Alright. Well, yeah, we're the only people on. And, how do I get out of... Oh, I know how we get out of here. Alright. Come here. Get on you. How do I find wilderness? Someone please help me. Alright, let me go back to the screen. Alright. Alright. I'm back. I want to know if I can claim something. How do I claim? I think it's definitely with the golden shovel. Like it is on most servers. Can't create a claim here because all of it. Alright, so we gotta run. We gotta run. I'm back. Run away. Run away. How do I claim? I think wait, can I claim here? Oh, I can. Alright. Why not here? Why not here? Run. Why not? Why not? Run away. Run away. Oh, you don't have enough left. 100. Oh, alright. Let's go back. Oh, I can. Alright. Alright. It's a very small claim. Alright? Alright, very small. That is insanely small. Where can I build without it getting destroyed? How do I even get resources? What the heck? It's a very small claim. Was there stuff around here? Except for this level 30 trainer. We all know where I'm not finding that. Where can I build without getting destroyed? Alright, I can fight you with my Charmander. Go, Charmander! Scratch! Fight the century. Alright, scratch. Scratch him again. Scratch. Right. Alright. Scratch him again. Alright. What do we have else to fight here? What other stuff do we have to fight here? What it should say. Alright, whose claim is this? Fell. Alright. Well, Fell isn't on. So, how about we try that? How about we try finding this person right here? Oh, this Pokemon, not this person. Come on, you can do this! It just gets completely destroyed, I'd be like, Charmander. No! Alright. No, Fell. You're such a feller. Oh. Aerodactyl, what kind of move? Oh my, you Thunder Fang! You freaking kidding me? What? What the? What? I'm running. Aerodactyl, what kind of move? Oh my. That's home. Can I go home with this? Oh, I didn't set my home. Oh no. I'm running. Meow. Alright, it's gonna take me forever to get back there. I bet I can find low level Pokemon. Can't even find them. Oh, I didn't set my home. I can't set that. Where are my claims at? Where are my claims? Alright, they're from... Oh, alright, that's not that bad, I guess. Last set. Home. Plus set. Where are my claims at? Home. Where are my claims? Alright, I know what I'm doing wrong. Plus set home. Oh, alright, that's not that bad, I guess. Alright, there we go. So, let me try this. Plus home. Alright, slash spot. I need to... Well, I need to, heal my Pokemon. Go to the nose run right here. Server shop. Turn money? You gotta vote. Vote. Why vote? Why vote? But I can just... Bam. Got it. Right. Turn money, type slash vote. Sure, slash type vote. Alright, I gotta do this. Take a sip of my Coke. No, it's not a Coke. Oh. gotta do this. Take a sip of my Coke. No, that's not Coke. Give me a second. I mean, I hate when servers do this stuff. Alright, Minecraft username. It's already there. I'm a robot. I'm not a robot, is what I meant to say. Alright, your votes have registered. Look! Ah! Oh! Oh! What is my reward? What is my reward? / bell. Got 1,000. What the heck? What is that word? I don't know. Alright, so vote 2. Wait, who did you call for? What the heck? I don't think she called for me, so I'm okay. Alright. Alright. TJ 456 FTW underscore YouTube. Man, I really messed that up. Alright, TJ 456 FTW. Who did you call for? TW. Alright. I can't believe I messed up my name that much. I don't think I do that much, but apparently sometimes I do. Alright. I'm trying to vote. They won't let me vote. What the heck? Alright. You are good. So I just voted again. Let me check my dial again. 2,000 Dubois. What the heck? Circle clogs. No, this is how you get building supplies and stuff. My gosh. This is all stupid. Stupid. Alright, I want to find something good that can help me out in the thing of Pokemon. Oh my god, yes! I'm sorry. That's worth it. What the? For 1,000. Where's my sapphire? No, this is how you get building supplies and stuff. It just chipped me out of my sapphire. I'm not gonna really care about this. I just want the rubies. Alright, I want to find something good. Alright, that can help me out. No, 1 for 1,000. Oh my god, yes. Alright, that's stupid. Alright, Stone lapis, illuminating it. I need some of those, so let's vote again. Vote 3. Just making money. Alright, game name. Wait, what the heck? Slide to activate. Alright. But can I slide? Oh yes, I can slide. Alright. Activate. TJ456 FTW underscore YouTube. Send your vote. Alright. Spy. The funny thing, I'm just like going around. Don't go into my room, whoever I hear. Thunderstone. I want it. Alright. Vote 5. Vote 6. I think it is. We're on now. Making money in the game. Yeah. Alright. Let's vote. How do we vote? Alright. Vote. Here we go. Click that. Users online. 87 out of 1. Is that 1 out of 87? No, there's like 3 people. There's 3 people online. I don't know what you're doing. Oh, on Pixelmon. Alright. All I have to do is just enter my Minecraft username if it would work. No, I have to do the robot thing, which is fine. YouTube, I'm not a robot. And vote. And there we go. I hurt my finger. Oh. Alright, I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, vote. No, that was vote 4. I'm doing vote 5. Alright. It's good. Alright, Minecraft username, that's good. This one will fit the server. Wait, it didn't put mine in. Alright, didn't put my username in. TJ, alright, there we go. Vote for the server. Thanks for voting. Alright, I'm able to buy it. The Thunderstone. The thing I want to buy. Alright. No, I just messed up big time. Alright, that's fine, I guess. Here you guys go, and, let me fix it. Oh my god. I messed up real good. Alright, how's the stream look? It says 2 is watching, but they're not answering me. What the heck? Answer me! Alright, what's the stream name again? Alright, play... No, I don't even have to search that in. Play gaming. The bad thing about this. There's somebody named Play Gaming 456 with 2 videos. It's not me. And then there's Play Gaming 456 Minecraft and More, which isn't me yet. Because my name actually made it Gaming 456 because on my logo. Or no, I changed it way before that, but it also worked on my logo. It's something good because it wouldn't fit there, so I had to get rid of the G, make gaming. It's live. All right, let's look at this live video. Right. Good. Alright, Minecraft username, that's good. This one will fit the server. Wait, it didn't put my in. Alright, I spelled answer wrong, but alright. Sailed off into the sunset. Alright, he's AFK. Or no, he left. Alright, so we're gonna buy a Thunderstone because the thunder. No. It's like PV1. No. Stop. Please, no. Alright, that's fine. No. I hate this game. All I wanted was a Thunderstone. It jipped me out of it, and now I'm lagging really badly. What the heck? It's not just the game. It's really hurting me. Oh god, no. Don't tell me I crashed. How long have I been in this video? 26 minutes. That's all? Oh. There's, 2 videos. Help. It's not me. Oh, I clicked this one. And then there's Play Gaming 456 Minecraft and More. Because my name I don't think I actually made it gaming 456. Can I get the grief kit? No, I changed it way before that. On my logo?